South Carolina's mariculture industry not only brings fresh seafood to our tables, but also supports the livelihood of countless families. However, like many traditional industries, it faces the challenge of passing down skills and knowledge to the next generation. Well, that's where South Carolina's Seafood Apprenticeship program comes in. Let's welcome Angela Treptow, Program Coordinator for the SC Sea Grant. Angela, I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And when did this program begin?
Thank you. We really appreciate the invitation. We actually just completed our first full program on May 10th.
Wow. So what inspired the creation of this program?
So the South Carolina Sea Grant Consortium works very closely with all of our coastal communities. And so it was through our work with our coastal communities that we identified the need for our working waterfront communities to start planning for their future, especially in the face of rising population levels and changing environmental conditions. And so while we were talking about this, how to plan for the future and creating a sustainable future, you of course talk about some of the current challenges that they're facing. And our commercial seafood industry is facing a host of challenges, from imports and aging waterfront facilities to an aging workforce. And so we really felt like we could help address the problem of this aging workforce. And so we thought one really great way to do that is to help find that next generation, to create kind of a recruitment pipeline for both those interested in working in the commercial seafood industry and those looking for people to help support them in the commercial seafood industry.
So it really benefits both parties greatly.
Definitely.
And can you talk about kind of the structure of this program? Like, how long is it?
Yes. So it is a 1-month full-time program, and so it runs Monday to Friday. Classes are about 8:30 to 4 each day, and it offers a combination of both classroom-based and on-the-job training. And so for this first year, the first week really starts off, we do an immersive marine safety class. If we're going to be putting people out in the water, we want them to feel safe and confident. And so that resulted in our apprentices receiving the U.S. Coast Guard drill conductor certification. They were CPR and first aid certified by the end of that first week. And then we also had a lot of our local South Carolina DNR partners come in, and we had them talk about some of the research and science that goes into the rules that govern this industry. And then they, in that second week, already got to get out and go on the water. So they got to go out and harvest wild oysters. They got to see mariculture farms. They both, for clams and for oysters. They got to spend a day going out with commercial fishermen to go crabbing, and they spent an entire day out on a commercial shrimp boat.
Wow. So what qualifications do you leave with in addition to the Marine Corps one that you mentioned?
So those are kind of the three big ones. So we did a residential fishing license for them so that they were allowed to go out and harvest the wild oysters. And then they have, as we said, that U.S. Coast Guard drill conductor, which is a safety training certification, CPR, first aid, and then they get a certificate of completion from the South Carolina Sea Grant.
Wow. So what was the outcome? I know this was just your first year, but
yes.
What was the outcome of the first initial program?
So we started off with 6 apprentices. We graduated 5, which was great. We were really excited, and all 5 were offered positions. One of the goals too was to connect them with local people in the commercial fishing and mariculture industry. And so we have a lot of people who are looking for good, dependable workers. And so we had one of our applicants already had work lined up on a fishing vessel out in Alaska. And so she'd actually done it the summer before, and she said she was just put on a boat with no real training. And so she was,
oh my goodness,
yes,
I can't even imagine.
Right, yes, and things are moving quickly. It can be a dangerous environment, and so she was really excited to see this program because she wanted to feel more comfortable and confident and know what to do in an emergency situation. So she was able to add a lot to the program from having experience in it, and she really said she loved the things that she was learning and felt more comfortable and confident to go back out this summer, and she hopes to come back in the fall and help on a shrimp boat. We had one right after the program ended. He went out for 6 days on a grouper snapper boat, and so we were really able to help make some really good connections, and 4 of our 5 applicants had jobs at the end of the program.
How incredible. And now I have to mention that this is free. Tuition is covered, correct?
Yes. So
okay.
We were very fortunate. We got funding from the NOAA National Sea Grant Office and the USDA's Rural Business Development Grant Program, the South Carolina Department of Ag, and South Carolina Farm Bureau. They all stepped in to help us fund the program, so it is completely completely free. At the end of 1 month, upon completion of the program, they get $1,000. We provide them with all the course material. We provide them with gear to get started, and we even have housing for those who need it. So,
wow.
Yes.
So we just have a little bit of time left, but
Yes.
the qualifications too, because the next session is in May of 2025.
Correct.
So what are the qualifications needed to apply, and then where can we find more information?
Great question. So the qualifications, you need to be at least 18 and older. You have to be able to pass a background check and a drug test, and you have to be willing to work in an environment that is going to be physically demanding, that changes on a day-to-day basis. But I think a lot of people are looking for that. There are people out there who don't want to go and have an office job from 9 to 5, and so it's a fun and rewarding experience and opportunity. And then I would say to find more information, they could visit us online at sccgrant.org, or they could also reach out to me via email or phone, and I would be happy to answer any questions that they have.
Well, we'll put your email and phone down below. Angela, I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
We're back in 2 minutes.
Thanks.